We begin today with the latest numbers on the economy. It is, without any question, a disappointment. The latest unemployment report showing that the U.S. economy shed 131,000 jobs last month, more than expected. And the federal government is explaining it as 140,000 Census Bureau workers leaving their temporary work and state and local governments cutting back their workforces. We'll see. And private employers added actually 71,000 jobs in July. That is at least positive news that the private economy is adding jobs, but it's below the 83,000 added in June. And it is far below the roughly 150 to 200,000 jobs needed each month to reduce the unemployment rate. That is, we need to create 150 to 200,000 jobs, folks, each and every month just to keep up with population growth. Now, the unemployment rate, nonetheless, remains steady at 9.5%. But listen to what the president was saying about the economy, what the president was saying about jobs and his administration and all of the miracles that it had wrought. He was talking yesterday with CNBC's Phil LeBeau about the labor market and what a terrific job the supreme leader, President Barack H. Obama, has done with his awesomeness.
What you see in the auto industry is what you see in American manufacturing generally, which is that, first of all, we were losing 300,000, 400,000 jobs the year before I took office. We've now gained 55,000 back. That means we're moving in the right direction. But American manufacturing has gotten leaner. It's gotten more efficient. It takes fewer workers to make the same number of cars than it used to.
Well, as far as I can tell from that, the president is taking credit for productivity gains, innovation, application of efficient work processes, and also that he has just crushed the evil headwinds of employment in this country to the point that when we were losing 300,000, 400,000 jobs a year, they've now, in a year and a half, gained 50,000 back. Are you kidding me? Look, I don't want this president talking the economy and the markets down, and I've said so. I'm delighted that the president would talk about efficiencies and improved work processes. And I understand that it's an election year and he's got to talk some nonsense. But this is tripe. This is baloney. This is it's just beyond comprehension. We lost 130,000 jobs, Mr. President. You can't have it both ways, and my God, you should if you're going to go out on one day taking credit for manufacturing getting more efficient and roaring, and just, all the good things that are happening, and there are some, and you're correct to point those things out. But, Mr. President, didn't anyone in your economic team say, whoa, wait a minute, hold on, we're going to have an unemployment report tomorrow, and the best we can hope for is a 9.5% unemployment rate? Then he went on to blame the Republican Party. Now, think about this. This Democratic president was with a 60% of the seats in the House of Representatives and 59% of the seats in the Senate, blames the Republican Party for blocking his plans to create jobs. What awesomeness. Here he is.
We have tried to work with the other party in getting some of these things done precisely because the recovery is still not as strong as it should be. For some reason, they're blocking it, even though these are things that traditionally Republicans have stood for. The Chamber of Commerce is in favor of it. The NFIB is in favor of it. And for some reason, they're still blocking it from getting out of the Senate. That doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't. And, Mr. President, it's time for you to start making sense and start taking responsibility for your own public policy choices and decisions. You have to take at some point, Mr. President. I don't know whether it will be Maybe next year? Would it be in the 7th year of 8 years if you're reelected in 2012? At some point, you're going to have to acknowledge that you are the President of the United States and you are responsible for everything. You can blame George Bush till hell freezes over. You're still the president. You're still the guy making the choices. And if you're not making correct choices, and if you are not moving this country forward, well, it's your deal, Mr. President. He also mentioned an idea that I've mentioned in how to start kicking off employment, start creating jobs, and listen to the president move over to the bright side, my side. Here he is.
You've got a lot of blue-collar guys who are now looking for work. We've got to make sure that we're providing them some support. One of the things where we could employ a lot of those folks is in rebuilding America's infrastructure for the 21st century, and that's something that I'd like to work between Democrats and Republicans to agree on.
Mr. President, you don't have to work with anybody. Everybody's sitting there ready to go to work on it. What is wrong with you? What is wrong with your advisors? I have been saying throughout the onset of the recession, let's mark those dates. That's from the end of 2007 through 2008 through 2009 and through this entire year to date, that this nation needs to start on a significant, bold infrastructure construction plan. And I'm not talking about some earmark that'll suit you and please your Democratic cohorts.